The initiative to keep games from being destroyed by publishers is still raging on, and now there's a ton of updates we need to talk about in regards to this story. And after I catch you all up to date, I gotta then dive into how Pirate Software is now lying on purpose again. Firstly, it was confirmed by Accursed Farms, who started Stop Killing Games, that the movement has indeed passed 1 million signatures officially. As of this video being made, the movement is sitting at 1.1 million signatures, which is great to see. However, Accursed Farms has said in an update video that it's not over and there's still plenty of problems. One of the issues, which is kind of ridiculous, is that according to Farms, there's a massive amount of signatures where people are apparently miswriting their names when submitting their information. Yeah, why that's a problem, obviously, is because if your name is misspelt, then it can't be confirmed and actually counted towards the signatures that are needed. So I know this sounds kind of stupid to say out loud, but if you're in the European Union and you're signing this, guys, come on, double check to ensure that you spelled your own names correctly. According to Farms, he believes that at least 10% of the now 1.1 million signatures could be thrown out due to this single user error alone, and he fears that the number could be as high as 40% of signatures that could be thrown out due to people not being able to spell their own names. For the love of God, man, come on. So again, please proofread it before you hit enter. Thank you. Another very big problem that Farms has found is that he's noticing people are trying to re-enter their names multiple times as signatures, which is not only not going to work, but it's technically illegal to do that with petitions, in case you don't know. So yes, there are people absolutely, according to Farms, who again has access to this data, that people are spoofing their signatures, are using bot accounts even to falsify signups onto Stop Killing Games initiative. What that could do is, for one, it could destroy the movement entirely, which we don't want that to happen. And if the petition is full of bot accounts from people who technically don't exist, then it's considered spam. And therefore, it could be seen as online manipulation to get this petition signed into law through, nefarious means. Which could, yes, kill the entire thing, and then my cynical mind immediately starts thinking, what if publishers or people who just don't want Stop Killing Games to succeed, they could just spam the signature process with plenty of fake bot accounts by the thousands, triggering a shutdown, and then they would win effectively immediately. So with that in mind, Farms believes of these 1.1 million signatures that realistically, the real amount of people who've probably signed this is somewhere between 600 to 700,000 people. So yeah, not actually a million yet. I know, I don't like pissing in your guys' cereal like this, but unfortunately, we do have to face reality here. So please, anyone watching this that is in the European Union, if you haven't signed it yet, please sign it. And please do not use bot accounts or fake signatures to artificially boost this number, because all you're going to do is just seriously harm Stop Killing Games in the long run. Also, another update, which is ridiculous. Someone has apparently started a cryptocurrency that is attached to Stop Killing Games, although I couldn't find any proof of this myself. Accursed Farms does bring this up in his latest video and confirms that he has zero ties to it and pleads to people to not give any money to any crypto stuff that is attached to this movement, because it is 100% a scam to get money out of you. So please don't do that. But if anyone can find actual links or something to this supposed cryptocurrency, please email me. Description box has my email. Thank you. Another problem is that specifically Italian and Belgium signatures are not registering properly, and that this has something to do with those countries specifically when it comes to their digital online IDs. So it's more so just a problem with those two countries that they need to figure out, possibly needing to reach out to their government assistance for help to hopefully ensure that their IDs are working properly, but it's only those two that we know of. Lastly, Farms hopes people do not harass Pirate Software, and he wants things to cool down between himself and Pirate, because in his opinion, the online fighting has gotten too much. However, Pirate Software has also now made things even worse, so let's get into that now. Obviously, Pirate Software tried to destroy Stop Killing Games and ruin it because he didn't agree with it. And he made 2 videos about 10 months ago about how he felt the movement was pointless and basically needed to fail. He said things like saying that Accursed Farms looked like a used car salesman and that the whole thing was basically pointless, and that he would actively do his part to ensure that the movement does not succeed.
So with that in mind, that community brought me this and tried to get me to sign it. And I don't want to. I wouldn't sign it even if I could.
Obviously, since then, things have gone nuclear, as we all know, and now Pirate has decided to again play the victim card, and well, he's being called out for it. Here's what he said. I am no longer working at off-brand games. People were attacking all of the games we were publishing and trying to mass review bomb them. You can dislike the things I say, but this kind of behavior is unhinged. Learned a lot there, accomplished a lot, hope they succeed regardless. Love those dudes and loved working with them. Hope they keep cooking. Off-brand games, in case you don't know, they publish various indie titles on places like Steam, and Pirate Software claims now that they're being harassed, except, well, that is not actually the case. As seen here on Steam for Rivals of Aether 2, a game they published, the reviews are not mass bombed at all. Actually, recently the game has had more positive reviews than ever before. So this game proves already that Pirate Software is not exactly telling the truth yet again, it seems. The Aethermancer demo, as seen here, also has very positive reviews. Again, there's zero signs of mass bombing there either. Again, also looking here, 78 or even 79% of reviews have been very positive for Aether 2, also confirming that this mysterious review bombing has indeed not been happening despite Pirate saying otherwise. However, the only game that has been mass review bombed for sure is Heartbound, which is the game that Pirate Software made and still hasn't been finishing even though it's been in development for years now. However, as you can see here with Heartbound's Steam page, the developer and publisher is not Off-Brand Games, but Pirate Software himself. So this game has no connection to this publishing studio. Instead, it's being mass review bombed because Pirate has attempted to obviously ruin Stop Killing Games. So yes, the Heartbound thing is legit, but Off-Brand Games, no. So unsurprisingly, people started calling out Pirate Software and asked him, why is he lying again about something that can be so easily proven otherwise? Well, here's what he said. For those trying to say that this is now somehow a lie, the abuse was across socials, people on Discord, Twitter, Reddit, and some reviews on Steam. Indie games are fragile things, and attacks like that hit hard. Overall sentiment was to bash the games and the developers working on them to try to get back at me. Not worth bringing them down for my opinion. Also stop it, get some help. Okay, you can say that, but the data isn't showing what you're claiming though. Like, none of those games were mass review bombed at all. Like, anyone can go look that up publicly, but claiming that harassment was across socials, which is a convenient way to just spread the blame and the evidence into small microcosms all over the internet, is not surprisingly original of Pirate to try to do, because then he can grab a comment on Discord here, or an email here and claim it's all the justification I need is harassment and that's why he left. But the thing is that Pirate, for whatever reason, just keeps on lying time and again. In my previous video on this, I spoke on how Pirate lied about the World of Warcraft incident and even doubled down claiming that the hardcore raid was not his fault, when it was 100% when players went back and reviewed the footage of him playing.
Pirate, why are you walking, bro?
What are you talking about? Why am I walking? Look at my mana.
This is savageable. Come on, man.
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you? Yell over another person like you were doing earlier?
Speak?
Nah, I'm good.
You.
See ya.
Discovering that Pirate was actually responsible for all the problems that he was claiming. To me, anyway, Pirate seems like the kind of guy who thinks he has like a 150 or like a 200 IQ brain, but instead routinely seems to make mistakes that no one of that caliber would ever make. He's kind of like a dumb person cosplaying as a genius. Does that make sense? But trying to garner sympathy this way is not going to work, because the thing is that what he's attempted to do by slandering Stop Killing Games will absolutely overrule any sort of pity party that he tries to make for himself. Because the alternative, if he got what he wanted, would have just been games come, publishers kill them, and that's pretty much it. Then Artur Smirowski, who made games like Soul Ash 1 and 2, replied to Pirate and claimed what he just did here has opened indie developers to further cancel culture mobs. Here's what he said. Excellent work, man. You fed the trolls for the next 6 months by showing them that any indie developer can be seriously harmed by review bombing. People will get what they want. You could have ended this by showing some humility or humor, but you chose weakness. You're a leader of a community. You wanted to lead the indies, enjoy their recognition, and teach them how to succeed. That also comes with responsibility, and you have to show some backbone when it's needed. I've been dealing with this crap for a year to show developers to stop acting like wussies, contribute their point of view for a healthy debate, and stop making everything crappier only to cater to narcissists. You can go and crash over an opinion that isn't harmful or even politically divisive. You are, in fact, most responsible for everyone getting what they want. Why on earth are you self-flagellating over that? I hope you learn from this and set a better example next time. Arthur's right, and by the way, he is telling the truth about being attacked by online activists for well over a year now. Arthur's game Soul Ash 2 does not have same-sex romance in it. One, because Arthur doesn't want that, but two, because his game focuses on bloodlines and passing of traits through the DNA, which obviously 2 men or 2 women can't pass genetic traits through one another to a baby because that's not how biology works, hence why a man and a woman are the default relationship in his game. Despite that, he was attacked all over by activists claiming that he was bigoted, this, that, yet Arthur never once budged. And now, even a year later, his changes remain unchanged. So when Arthur said what he said to Pirates, that he was absolutely bending the knee to an online hate mob, he was right. Leaving off-brand games to protect it from backlash was pretty much pointless because like I showed, they weren't even being review bombed at all, even despite Pirates being attached to them. So this criticism and backlash is being placed on Pirate as an individual, not those who surround him. That's why Heartbound got bombed, not only because Pirate made that game, but also because people are pissed that that game has been in development for something like almost 10 years now and still isn't done. Like, come on, man. So he's connecting the wrong tissue here, and it's being rightfully called out by people. He's obviously tired of the backlash, I understand that. However, the alternative is that Pirate seemingly continues to keep making his position, his identity, and his credibility worse with every post or opinion that he spews. I know this will sound kind of odd, but Pirate sort of reminds me of myself when I was in my teenage years. I thought I was like the greatest ever. I was so smug and full of myself. I hated authority, I thought nobody was smarter than me, and I was better than everyone else. Thankfully, yeah, I moved on from that mentality, and quickly realized, wow, I'm actually not better than anyone else, and I was just being a dick. But I had this thought in my brain that I was better than others for seemingly no reason at all. And honestly, Pirate kind of reminds me of that, but unironically, he's just never evolved past that pre-pubescent, almost childlike, I'm invincible, I'm always right attitude. You ask me, no one's better than anyone else. I mean, people even claim that Pirate uses a voice modulator to make his voice lower because his actual voice in videos sounds nothing like he does now. Here's Pirate's real voice, by the way.
Welcome to Denver Comic-Con. I'm HB Duran for Video Game News Source, and I'm here, guess where? With the games, of course. I'm here with Thor, founder of Pirate Software. How's your show been so far?
It's actually been amazing. It's our first time out here at Denver Comic-Con, and there's so many people, and they love the games, so it's been awesome.
Also known as Pirate Software Online. I've been in the gaming industry for about 20 years. I used to work at...
So we have Champions of Breakfast, which is a twin-stick shooter that we made in 24 days from concept to release on Steam.
And it's really easy to say like, oh, you know, that'll get worked out down the line.
And that game is pretty difficult, so if you're into really hard arcade games, that's the kind of thing for you.
But it actually had a sequel that came out in 2018, and then it had another...
is Heartbound, which is a more story-driven RPG. And we've been working on that for about 6 months. We put it up on Steam Greenlight. It got rank 1.
And I understand that people find that to be a problem from the player perspective.
So it was massive success.
You're talking everything, like even phone games, as funny as that is.
And then we put it up on Kickstarter, and it got funded in 24 hours.
Just require online-only activity.
Yeah, that sounds like two completely different people, and I wonder why that is. Although, the guy has claimed that he went through a second puberty, which allowed his voice to deepen further, but no, that's not how that works at all. Like, you can just Google that. Here, look, I did just that, and Google now probably thinks I'm Arthur the Tarded for asking this question. But no, men cannot go through a second puberty. You stop all of that by the time you're like 25 or so. So this guy is 100% probably using a voice modulator on purpose to change his voice. I would be like if I just suddenly changed my voice.
It suddenly sounded way deeper than before, then I gaslighted all of you into believing what?
You don't believe that this is my real voice?
Oh, have you maybe tried going through second puberty like I have? Actually, I'm joking. What you're hearing right now is third puberty.
Yeah, I'm 32 years old and I'm currently evolving at such a rapid pace that you plebeians just can't keep
up with me, cause I'm just awesome like that.
You just wish you sounded this cool, but again, let's just make it clear as day for everyone listening. No, you cannot go through second puberty. Sorry. And I love how the lady in the video calls him Thor. The guy's name is Jason. You're not Thor, man.
My name is Jason Thor Hall, also known as Pirate Software Online.
That's like me saying you have to call me Ultra Hawk Commander in real life. It's just cringe. But what Artis Miarowski said about Pirate is correct. The last thing Pirate should be doing is trying to paint himself in any way as the victim here. Look, every day someone on the internet becomes the main character, and your goal as someone on the internet is not to become the main character on the internet. Because if you do, it's probably because you did or said something very stupid. Unfortunately for Pirate, he's become the main character for about 2 weeks running now. It's the definition of screwing around and finding out. Then Ludwig, of all people, I guess, decided to enter the conversation and repeat what Pirate Software said. Here's what he said. Stop Killing Games is a good initiative, but a few bad actors review bombing, harassing developers of the games we support at off-brand games. Appreciate Thor stepping down for the betterment of the devs and their games. Oh my god, the dude's name is Jason, not Thor. But anyway, saying that a few bad actors are review bombing is factually incorrect. Why is Ludwig and Pirate now saying this? Off-brand games has not been review bombed. Stop trying to push this narrative, it's not real. But of course, Pirate would again try to pull the sympathy card, and here's what he said. The most interesting narrative is that my videos somehow killed the initiative. This graph shows that the initiative already had a downward trend in interest when my videos dropped. My videos do not seem to have had any impact on the movement at all, making me the villain did though. Best of luck with your next steps. Ah, so we're pulling this card now. Okay, so Stop Killing Games was trending downward, and Pirate thinks that his opinion actually helped the initiative. Well, he is right in one regard. His opinion of kicking Stop Killing Games when it was already down absolutely did cause it to skyrocket in the opposite direction. However, trying to claim that you're not at fault for damaging it further because it was already down doesn't really work. Because you can still hurt something that is already weakened, and that's exactly what you did, Pirate. Instead of helping the initiative that was clearly struggling, you purposely made it clear in your videos that you did not in fact want to help something that was clearly pro-consumer.
This is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is it's not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful. That is a horrible goddamn direction. That's awful, dude. No. Eat my entire ass.
But you instead used your influence and your power to just damage it further, and now you're rightfully being called out.
I'm going to actively tell people not to.
And now suddenly you're trying to make it seem like you're the villain, but also a victim? No, that's not how it works. You were the one that kicked Stop Killing Games when it needed your help the most. You could have saved it, but you chose not to. But you are 100% right that you are the villain of this story because you're rightfully getting called out, while also having your credibility nosedive by being exposed all over. You've gone from this smug know-it-all to being exposed as the weakest link in your World of Warcraft parties, and you're being criticized rightfully so.
We have that kind of a mistake again. I'm disbanding the party. I'm going to go run with other people because you guys cannot do that. God damn it, guys. So one of you pulled the ocular. Why? Now half the raid is dead. Oh, I swear to God. I'm going to go back in the video and find out who pulled that damn thing and kick him out of the raid. That is insane. Thor pulled it in a clip? Link, I'm not at fault there. I'm correct there for doing that. 100%. That is not on me.
And using your influence to kill a movement that was clearly nothing but a net positive for players, and I really don't understand still why you don't want Stop Killing Games not to work. And in your video, you even say this would lead to less live service games and more single-player ones, and how is that a bad thing? Live service is what is killing this industry for years now. Look at Sony. How many games have they canceled due to live service woes? PS5 has had the least amount of exclusives ever in Sony's existence, or really first party in general, because they keep starting to make some live service slop game only for it to die mid-development. And how is that a better alternative to solid single-player games? I mean, you can't be serious. Plus, the importance of Stop Killing Games has also been made even more relevant than ever because of Anthem. As GameSpot reports here recently, Anthem shutting down entirely will be unplayable starting next year. And as Forbes also reports here as seen, not only is the game being taken offline for good, but EA will not be reissuing refunds either. So Anthem will be taken off officially on January 12th, 2026, about 6 months from this video going live. So you can play it right now, I guess, but it will be gone forever eventually. And funny how Jason, Pirate Software, thinks that it's simply not realistic to keep games in a playable state, and then EA proves exactly why Stop Killing Games is so important, with now Anthem being dead and gone forever soon too. The fact you can't get refunds is also insane. I saw people online trying to defend this. Why should you get your money back? Oh, I don't know. Because the thing you bought and was promised that you would be able to play it once you paid for it can now no longer be played at all, yet your money is not being, given back to you. It's just gone now. How can you be okay with that? Not even the physical copies bought of Anthem can be used. They're just useless discs now. This is what I mean. This is why it's important. It's yet another game that has now been deleted forever, and your money is gone with no way to make up for it. That's just not okay, no matter how people try to justify it. Hell, even more recently, it was confirmed that in Ubisoft's user agreement, if your account gets banned that's attached to their games, you are also ordered by law to destroy any copies that you own of Ubisoft's games, physically too. Like, are we kidding right now? This is why this thing needs to succeed, because this practice is literally just destroying video games digitally and physically, as if they're nothing despite taking years to make. So Pirate Software can act all he wants and try to make it seem like he's the victim here, or lie and say that Off-Brand Games is being review bombed, but this initiative does need to succeed. By the way, Pirate, how can you claim that review bombing is bad when you actively stated in your videos that you will do your best to ensure that Stop Killing Games does not work via your own influence? Is that not just another form of review bombing as well? Or is review bombing only okay as long as you're the one doing it and not the other way around? Just want to make sure I get this right, because it seems like you're trying to push the idea of rules should be for everyone but yourself. But lying that you're being review bombed after intentionally trying to destroy a movement is your just desserts, and yes, you do deserve the backlash. Because none of this backlash would be happening if you just for once didn't think that you were better than others for whatever weird reasons you cooked up in your head. Also, before I go, Accursed Farms had an update on the invalidated signatures. Here's what he said. I was given some stats about previous European Union initiatives that passed and how many signatures were discarded. It looks like the low end was about 100,000 and the high end was about 250,000. I suspect we'll be closer to the higher end, so every legit signature helps. So everyone who hasn't signed the initiative and lives in the European Union, the link for this is in the description box below. Because if anywhere near 250,000 signatures are not being counted due to whatever invalid reason, we need them more than ever then. So please go sign it, ask your family members to sign it, every little bit counts. As for Pirate lying, I mean, are we even surprised at this point? But what do you think about all of this? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.